Hi everyone, it's Mitch. It's Monday, October 27th. Another week of college football in the books. Another week of college football right on top of us. We got two games tomorrow night on Tuesday. We got one game on Thursday and a full slate on Saturday. We had a pretty decent week last week. We had a winning record overall, which is always our goal. You hit on some of our really big picks, hit on some good underdogs. We talked about that yesterday. We also had Jordan, who went six out of his eight picks that he made. He won. It's 75%. Pretty good picker. That's why we brought him on, and he'll be back with us again this week. The picking contest. Christopher Green, congratulations, 11 out of 15. No one else was even really close in that one. This week's contest, I'm expecting it to be even bigger, and I don't even think 11 out of 15. If guys keep picking that every week, that's pretty amazing, and it was a lot of fun for everybody. It was interesting to see, the games that everybody was on and the games that, people they just didn't want any part of. And so it was pretty consistent throughout. I was surprised to see that. In any event, let's get on to this week's games and, talk about where the lines open. Of course, where the lines open, no indication as where they'll even be, tomorrow. But, it's an indication as to where the odds makers feel that the public perception lies. And, let's start it right off with the big one, the cocktail party. It's really the biggest game of the week, and it's probably one of the biggest games of the season. And it's a game that before the season started, that people pointed to and said this was going to be the game that was probably going to decide one of the national championship participants. I'm not 100% convinced that that's still the case. It's still going to be a heck of a game, and it's still going to be winner take all, because the loser of this game will more than likely be out of the big picture. They'll still have a nice season. They'll still go to a nice bowl game, but national championship, it'll be dashed. The Gators opened up as a 5-point favorite in this one, 5.5, I believe, and that's a big number for the cocktail party, especially seeing that both these teams are playing very well coming in. The Gators seem to be racking up some really big point numbers. The Bulldogs not as much, but last week at LSU they put up a big number as well. Is that just LSU that's giving up a lot of points, or is that these teams are playing extremely well? I think a little bit of both is going on, and that should be just one heck of a game. Another game that I'm kind of interested to see all of a sudden, two teams that I don't normally follow, Notre Dame and Pittsburgh. Notre Dame's a 5.5-point favorite over Pitt. I didn't like Pitt last week. That was the number one pick game in my picking contest, was people going against my posted pick of Rutgers. And, they paid for it because, Rutgers beat Pitt by 20 points last week. And, they were getting 9.5 as an underdog. So, it'll be interesting to see how Pitt rebounds. Notre Dame is playing some pretty good football. They're going to make a bowl game this year. And, it all depends on how many wins they get and what level bowl game that they're going to go to. Stanford is laying 29.5 points at Washington State. It's a really, really tough time for Washington State this year. I just thought that line was, it was strange to see. USC is laying 43 against Washington. So combined between the two Washington teams, USC has laid close to 90 points between the two of them. They covered the first time. It'll be interesting to see how they do with this one. It's going to be tough to go against them or to even touch that game. Couple other ones really quick. Western Kentucky and North Texas, not a game that most people care about. We care about it though. We talk about those two teams all the time, and it's gonna be tough because those are two of the teams that we always pick against, and we always win when we pick against them. So now they're playing each other, so something's got to give, and we actually, if we're gonna pick the game, we're gonna have to pick one to win. But Western Kentucky is favored by 16.5 in that one. I mean, they've only beaten one 1A team in the Division I team in their entire existence. So it'd be interesting to see how that line moves, and it might even be interesting to see the game. In any event, we got lots of games to talk about. We got lots of point spreads to talk about, and we're going to be talking about them all week while we're talking college football. This is Mitch, and thanks for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow.